So hello on my behalf. So really happy to be here. And I'm here to tell you about performance management and then career development and learning opportunities from a Rovio point of view. So my name is Marjo Kuosmanen, and I have been working in Rovio for 2.5 years now, and leading the whole HR functions beginning of January. And I'm so happy to be here today to discuss about the topics that are really close to my heart and my passion in the field of human resources and people development. Performance management is something that it's, and also talent management is something that is really my passion. And I have studied a lot and learned by working in Nokia and UPM, now in Rovio. So what to do and what not to do and how to learn best practices. And then also what we are heavily investing in Rovio at the moment is the learning and career development and career paths that we have created in the company. So maybe if I start with the ROVIANS. So currently we have more than 400 employees globally. So we really truly are global and diverse company. So we have over 33 nationalities working at the Rovio in different locations. So from the game perspective and the gaming perspective, Espoo being the biggest site, and then Stockholm being the second one. And then we have offices in US and Asia as well, and UK of course. And average age of the company currently is 35, and most probably now you're thinking, am I myself below or above the average age? But that remains secret. And then about the gender distribution, so I think that it's the ratio is so that we have 70% of male and 30% of female. So it's more or less kind of same that we have in the Western technology companies. But of course, in the gaming sector, the companies are much smaller, so the distribution can be something else. But this is like the average. And of course, in a positive way, we are always recruiting the best talent, but hopefully we will get more women in the gaming industry as well to give a different perspectives and ideas for the games as well. So then about the performance management, I know that you have read the papers and know the whole story of the Rovio, so not going through that at this stage. But what we are now really focusing beginning of this year is to rethink the performance management and how do we do that in Rovio. So we have fewer people than in a couple of years ago, and we really want to focus and invest our people. And this is something that it's under discussion in Rovio. So how do we want to actually do the performance management going forward? But what is the philosophy in performance management at Rovio? I would say that it's actually so that individuals are responsible of their, of course, own performance management and leading themselves in day-to-day work. But what is important is that supervisors and the company needs to boost the development and give the opportunities to perform how would I say, to be the best that you can be at the workplace. So that's why we set targets at the stage once a year. So that's also something that we are now rethinking. But targets is the one that we really still believe that every one of us needs to know why we are coming to work. What is the expectation that the supervisors and the company has towards me and my doings, so that. So the targets are really tied to the games business unit, financial targets, as well as individual part. So it's important that every day when we come to work, we know what is expected from us and how the contribution of our work influences on the games business output. And as you said, we have done a extremely good work beginning of this year. So under Wilhelm Tacht's management, we have done an amazing work and amazing results so far. So everything is looking really good. And then about in the world of HR, we are using the talent management term. But what is then the aspect of what companies and what company Rovio and supervisors and we in the games management team are actually doing is that we ensure that we have the match in place, so the right people in the right place, meaning that if there is a position and position holder, they need to be a perfect match. We have different kind of studios, different teams, different ways of working, I would say even within the game team. So the teams are different, so there needs to be the cultural fit on the team. There needs to be enough challenges for each and every one of us every day, not too much, but not too little. Not too little. So, so good match for the challenges. And also, if I'm, for example, we are having discussions right now. For example, some of the QA professionals, they might want to proceed the career of producers. Okay, so then it's up to the HR's management and supervisor to think that is there a match? How can we support that individual to proceed in his or her career aspirations? And of course, it's always there's not that many positions open all the time, so there needs to be on the business side the need for that role, and then individual competencies in place and the right match from the team dynamics, I would say. And what also we are, how would I say, training and as we speak is that we are going through each and every one of the whole Rovio employees once a year. That means that we focus on every employee at least once a year with a bigger audience, so that we then try to identify people who actually are those so-called high potential that we want to grow and keep in-house, and also how to support those who are not performing as well as maybe we are expecting. So it goes both ways. So this is something that we are doing in our everyday life and work. And then about the career paths. So here, the philosophy really is that you don't need to be supervisor or leader to progress in your career in Rovio. So it's really important for us that if you are a good designer, good programmer, good designer, so that your career path can continue inside Rovio. And if you want to be the best designer ever, you can do that and proceed that in Rovio. So that usually the companies make the mistakes that if people want to proceed in their careers, that automatically means that you need to be a supervisor. You need to have big teams, lead teams, be the director of that and that. That's not the case in Rovio. If you want to be a good specialist and craft in some of the discipline areas, that's possible in Rovio, and that is something that we are really proud of and working towards that. So 2 tracks. And then it's also when talking about career paths and these kind of things. So, okay, so how do we grow our people? Because we cannot expect people to proceed and move in their careers if we don't offer any opportunities and learning opportunities. So we have a Rovio level learning frame that actually is quite similar, if you would say, as the career paths. So we have 2 different tracks. So we have how would I say, trainings and learnings for every one of us working in Rovio. So the newest thing is internal mentoring. So that's something that we do internally. So most of the senior staff members are mentoring more junior. And then Rovio College is new one that actually as some wise man says and always says, is that sharing is caring. So that means that, for example, artists are really capable inside Rovio and they are teaching each other, as well as programmers and all the discipline areas. And then the other side is that about the supervisor and the leadership track, is that number one reason why employees are leaving the company, changing employer, is because of the supervisor, your first line contact and supervisors, not the company, but the supervisor. Of course, it's not that black and white, but based on the studies. That's why we want to give tools for the supervisors to be the best that they can, and give them the tool and the support that they can grow and support their own teams. And then something new, even the ROVIANS here don't know this yet. So revealing this to you, so we want to accelerate, of course, the learning of all the employees that we have in games. But what we are now piloting and test flighting is a learning program called Top Gun. You might even figure out about the picture and about the name, that where the name comes from. Of course, I love Tom Cruise, but I didn't invent the name. But the idea really is that we have 1 year program that accelerates learning for the individual who are part of this program. And the second one is that we, of course, want, as a company and as a games business unit, that during that process they give to the company the best that they can. There's the different kind of project works ongoing during the 1 year program. So the program is designed really so that it takes 1 year, and we have 10 new pilots that are starting this journey together with us. And there's mandatory elements as well as voluntary, how this whole program is tailored. And as you maybe heard earlier today, was valid. That told you about the Aalto EE Games Executive Program. That's one of the elements of this program. And then there's a lot of other stuff as well. So I hope that I'm here next year at the same time and telling you about the learnings that we have had about the whole learning portfolio and then about the Top Gun program.